Hello, everyone. I hope there will be also some customers which will join maybe later. But hello, David. And um, this webinar will be about the basic training on the. This is a basic training in coDiagnostiX, and during this training, you can ask any questions. If you will have some questions, just raise your hand or turn on your microphone and ask this out loud, or you can type this in the chat if you have some questions regarding coDiagnostiX. And I will start the presentation, and also this training will be recorded, and you can find it in afterwards in the Straumann Digital Academy. There will be a recording published. I will share my screen, and I hope you can hear me well. And if you cannot hear me, just let me know, please. Okay, our topic today is getting started with the coDiagnostiX. And we will go through the case with a simple case or with a step-by-step guys how to perform the case with the coDiagnostiX. And we will start with the workflow data. For the data acquisition, we need DICOM data and we need scan data. So DICOM data we get from the DICOM device, from the CBCT or CT device, and scan data we can get from the intraoral scanner or just impression and scan of the impression. And then we need to align this data in coDiagnostiX, and you can see that in coDiagnostiX we will do this automatically. You will see this in the program how we perform this data. When we talk about CBCT scans, sometimes we have this data in a different quality. We could see this data in the no bite position, in the bite position, and with the X-ray markers. When we talk about cases with small defects, we usually should have this data in no bite position. For this, you need to separate maxilla and mandible jaw. If you have the bite plate in the CBCT device, the patient just need to bite it and we perform the data. Also, we highly recommend to separate the soft tissue. You can do this just with the cotton rolls, or you can also do this with the retractors as an aftergate or something similar. And for the separation, if a CBCT device don't have this separation, you can use also just a cotton rolls for the separation. So when we have the data, CBCT scan it, and then in coDiagnostiX, we can change the density of the CBCT data. And with the AI assistant, we can easily see everything. We can segment the teeth. We can see the bone. We can see roots. We can switch off unnecessary data as well. And we can also see the patient coordinate system, nerve canals, and everything. And also scan alignment. If we have the data in the bite position, sometimes it is not so useful for us. It still could be possible to perform, to go through this data and use this data, but it is not recommended because you have more artifacts in this data, and it's more difficult usually to align our DICOM with the STL files, but it is possible, and AI assistant can segment it also easily. But I highly recommend you to avoid the segment of the data, because if you have the segment of the data, it is very difficult to align this data, and you don't have too much data. You don't have the triangle to perform the good alignment of the just one segment, and you don't have any reference point to check it. That's why please avoid the segments of the scan data. Just if you need to reduce the field of view of the DICOM, just use the mandible or maxilla. You can also reduce um, the quality of the scan if you want to reduce the patient dose, but not reduce it by the segment. So, and in coDiagnostiX, we could have the visibility. In the left side, you see then the manual alignment, and in the right side, the manual segmentation, and then the right side is AI segmentation of the data. And let's open coDiagnostiX, and I will go to the case, and I will show you step by step how to do that. If we go again to the presentation, you see that we have 4 different steps. As a load data, prepare our data, then we need to put our implants and design a surgical guide. And you see that the second step as a preparation is marked as a green, because this step will be done by AI assistant. So let's switch to coDiagnostiX. And here in the main screen, what I can see? I can see my data set as actually I used before, and my previous case is here. And the last open case will have the data when I open this and the time. And also on the right side, I will start from the bottom. We have support and help. In support and help, you can see here the help option. You can see here remote support. You can see integrated trainings. If you go through the integrated trainings, system will guide you how to start your case, which buttons you need to click. If you click on training videos, it is very helpful. When you go here, you can see any training videos, step-by-step guides, how to use coDiagnostiX. If you go to online trainings, this is the same coDiagnostiX web page where you can see our live webinars, and you are in the one of them. And of course, you can find here instruction how to use coDiagnostiX. Also, you have here management. And in the management, you can change some settings. You can change the database which you are using for the planning. Also, we have Case Exchange. Case Exchange, this is the database of our colleagues, and you can exchange the cases between another users. So if you need to send the case from your computer to another coDiagnostiX user, you can use for this Case Exchange. Or if you need to send the case, if you perform your planning, but you want to proceed for the steps for guide design and guide producing, and if you want to send it to Smile in a Box, for example, you can also use Case Exchange and send it to the reference lab from this. If you click on Open, here you can see also your cases with a little bit more description and a small preview. And for the new case, we usually click on the New. Also, you have here 2 different work modes, Expert mode and Easy mode. Today, we will talk about the Expert mode, because the Expert mode, it is more usable, it's most usable working mode, and it gives you more opportunities in the guide design and in everything. So I have here expert. I click on the new, and here, if I have CD or DVD with my DICOM data, I choose these ones, or I select the folder. In my case, I already upload the data in my computer, patient data, and I store them on the one of the folder in my computer. So I click import data from the selected source. I click on the small folder here, and then I need to find where in my computer I save this data. You see here the different folders in my computer. I know that they are in the desktop, and I have the folder with the patient data, and I store it here. And you see that this is our patient. The patient name is Hero 2. And here, for example, in Hero 2, I have Hero 2 DICOM. And if I go next, if I open this file, I cannot see anything inside because, for example, let me show you this planning desktop. Oh, Hero 2. You see Hero 2 DICOM, and if I open it in my computer, I can see a lot of different files, a lot of DCMs. But when I open it in coDiagnostiX, I don't see anything. Why it is like this? Because I don't need to select particularly files. I just need select the folders. So this is not mistake. That means that I just select the folder. And even it doesn't matter that select particular folder. I can select the whole folder of the case. And system will find the current files automatically. So I just select DICOM and that's it. Then I click on import. And here, because I preload this case before and system recognized that I have the same patient name, and maybe this is the same patient, and I can assign to the patient or create it as a new patient. Let's start as a new patient. And we can rename this. System creating the data. And now we have pop-up. In this pop-up is important to decide what you would like to do. I would like to use AI assistant, and in this case, I will click provide data. If you will click not now, you can use AI assistant also later. Let's click on provide data. And then click close. Now we have our case. And how to start. So you need to know which kind of case you have, maxilla or mandible. In this case, I know that this case is maxilla. But for example, that's why I select maxilla. But for example, if you are not sure what is the case, you can select any, and here later afterwards, you can change the properties from maxilla to mandible. I will not do this because I select correctly. Now I have this case preloaded. So I have just a data set from the DICOM. And in this icon, I can see the orange hourglass. That tells me that this case is thinking, AI assistant is thinking about this case and trying to perform this case. Also, you can see the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, if you like, you can click adjust and you can reorganize this if you don't like the workflow and you, for example, wanted to have AI assistant in the first step. So you can reorganize it by yourself. I will keep it as a default. And I don't need to start with the 1, 2, 3, and 4 because where is my presentation? You see that we start with a new, then we go to prepare case, and here you see the step number 2 is split it like a AI assistant and this step. And why I know that this step should be the next one? Because this is scan add model scan. You see that if I hold my mouse, I have it here. So I click on it. I have an option load model scan. I need to open to find the folder where I save this data. And here I have PLY files. So this is the color data. This is the patient scans. And I have upper arch here. I click on open. And this is patient scan. So now I need to select a line using AI assistant. Of course, I can use align to other object. And in this case, there will be manual alignment, but I would like to make using AI assistant to perform this with AI. If I select this, I need to choose maxilla and click on provide data. So now this data has been sent to AI assistant, and you see that here is this data is not visible on the left side. So hero 2 is upper arch, and you see that the warning mark, that means that system is thinking about it, is performing this data. How long is usually AI assistant works? It's usually 2 or 3 minutes, but sometimes it could be longer or faster, depending on the queue of the how many people in the same time is using AI assistant, and also depending on your internet connection. And how to know when AI system will finish this? It will finish when the orange hourglass will change to the green check mark. While we are waiting, I will explain a little bit about the windows and the interface here. So you see that AI assistant already finished, but I will still explain. You see that I have here also a lot of different options and how to add them. The same, the right mouse button click, adjust, and you can add something as you would like to see here in this top bar. For example, this icon. Also, you can reorganize it. On the left side, you can see all of the object as will be added in your case. If you would like to enlarge something, for example, enlarge 3D view, you can do this with a double click on the gray bar, just like this. Or of course, here, the small icon. To rotate this, because if I click on the left mouse button, nothing happens. Because I need to use this icon, Ctrl plus M. One hint, or you can click Ctrl plus M, or you can just select it here. And now you can move it and with the right mouse button rotate. And one hint that you can also put this short command if you have the multiple buttons on your mouse, you can put this command on your side buttons on the mouse. So now I can rotate. Also, you can see panoramic, you can see axial, cross-section, and tangential view. I like the view for the planning in this small icon as a cross-section and tangential view, like this. And tangential view, this is the view around the point. And also here I have the shortcut cross-section and tangential. Let's go to the AI assistant. The first step after you upload the data, after you start the AI assistant, after you upload the PLY files, you need to click on AI assistant here. And then AI assistant window will be open. Now I enlarge this window, and what we can see here, we can see the fully segmented case. And in this case, I don't need mandible, but I have an indication to the tooth extraction of the maxilla incisors, because we have here the root resorptions of the maxilla incisors. So you can turn off the teeth, but I need them. Let's keep them. Then let's look on the patient coordinate system. Yes, everything is okay. If you need to correct, you can move it. Then panoramic curve is also all right, or you can a little bit correct. Nerve canals. I really like it in this case because we are treat maxilla. We don't need the nerve canals, but I like to show it how it works. So you click by the points. You can change it if you're not sure, if you not agree with this suggestion. And also the left side. So it's perfect because you don't need to track the nerve canals manually. It's everything has been done by AI assistant. But if you don't need the nerve canals as me, right now I just turn it off. I don't put the check mark here. And scan alignment. If I'm going to scan alignment, I put the check mark. This is very important step because here as a blue line, I can see that my STL file and how to check, is it correct or not? I'm scrolling the mouse wheel. I see also pellet here. The tongue of the patient is relaxed. You see that we are also retract the soft tissue. You can see the gray area. This is the soft tissue. So scan has been provided in a very good quality, and it helps me to make the good alignment. I'm scrolling and I see that everything all right because the line, the blue line, is following the edge of the DICOM file. If you're not happy with this and if you would like to make some corrections, you can go to manual or fine alignment. With the manual alignment, if you click on it, you can move it with the mouse. With the right mouse button, you can change the angulation, and with the left mouse button, you can shift it. And with the fine alignment, you can use these arrows to move it. If you move it too much, and if you decide to keep the AI assistant segmentation alignment, you just can click reset, and this data will be back to AI assistant. I see some comments here. uh, which is the same case. This is the case. I don't understand the question, please. This is the case as I uploaded. Yes, this is the same case as we start working with. So then we click Import Review Data. And now what we can see here, we can see the patient data, and this one, the orange data, this is the manual, this is the default segmentation. You can find it here in default. So if you would like to make more adjustments, but in this case, we don't need it, you can go to segmentation here and to segment it manually. But we really don't need it. That's why I turn it off, because we are using AI assistant. So with the shift and scroll, I can make it bigger. And now we can go through the case. For this case, what I need to do, I need to extract these front incisors. And to extract them, I need to click on the model here with the right mouse button and click Tooth Extraction. If I click on Tooth Extraction, I see this preview where I selected which teeth I would like to extract. So I select the front incisors, and I can choose different options. Cut out, and if I click on cut out, system will just cut them. Then I click, I can choose cut out and close, and system will close with the virtually flap. Or I can select cut out with the dental alveoles. And what does it mean? That means that system, I will use this one, system will cut out these teeth and I will see the real dental alveole. I prefer these ones. Yes, that's nice. I just click and apply. And now how to see the difference? I can switch off the layer of the scan here. And also I can switch off teeth here. And if you rotate, you can see the real tooth extraction. And now when you will proceed with the planning, you can understand where you will have bond and where you will have tooth extraction. And for example, for the planning, you can also use the existing patient teeth. But if you would like to make some aesthetics in this case, you can proceed with the steps, with the prosthetic steps. And for this, you have tooth here, and you can select the teeth as you want it to place. And with the double click, you can select, for example, the model, and to adjust little bit positions of these teeth. And perform the planing. But this planning is not aesthetic planning. This planning is just for orientation. That's why I will not go in through this, and I don't need actually this planning here. I will delete this teeth. In this case, we did the planning in Smile Cloud as well. And you can see that we plan the aesthetic zone here, how patient will see herself, and how to export this data from the Smile Cloud. I will show you briefly. You can use Smile Cloud, you can use any other CAD software, for example, for this. And if you are using Smile Cloud, you just select export here and select designer teeth, click on download and save. And here in coDiagnostiX, to upload this data, I'm using as an example Smile Cloud. But if you will use FreeShape Designer, or if you will use Exacat or Keras Visual, anything, so the way for uploading is completely the same. In my example, this is Smile Cloud. So I'm going to step number 4, load model scan. And here you can see this folder, Buenos Aires Design, as I just upload. I select this STL file, and you can see that this is this teeth as just has been in Smile Cloud. And what I need to click, because this is just an STL design, I need to click copy alignment, because in Smile Cloud, this design has been aligned by the upper jaw. And I select just the upper jaw here, and that's it. And then click finish. And now in my files, I can see both designs. So I can see existing teeth. You can see this purple line, that this is the STL as I have, the light blue line, this is the tooth extraction, and the green ones, this is design as I have. If you would like to switch off something, for example, your design, you can switch off it here, or STL, or tooth extraction. You see that this is a different files, like cake of the different files here. So after this, when we have our suggestion of design, when we have our model with extracting teeth, we can proceed for the planning steps. And for the planning, I immediately go to the step number 5. I'm not starting with the measurements because it is easy in coDiagnostiX to measure afterwards and to change the length and diameter of the implants afterwards. I go to the step number 5. And here you can see the library. And in the library, I have my yellow star here as a favorite library. So in our example for Straumann, we have a lot of different implants here. And you need to understand which implants you will use, because it will affect on your final protocol. And for example, if we are using PLC, and if you know that you are using um, PLC selective or PLC SLA, which is dry implant, so you need to select the current implants here. For example, I will use BLC selective, or well, let's use BLX because this is in medicine. So let's use BLX. Maybe 3.5 per 8, I don't know. Select the positions and click on OK. After this, so you can move this implant, and to move this implant, to have this implant in the center is a very important step. Click on here. if you click on this icon, your view will be every time centralized by the implant, and you don't need to find this implant in your cross-sectional and tangential view. This is very, very helpful and important button. So, for my planning, I like to use cross-sectional and tangential view. So I check them here or just with this shortcut. Then I move the implant. I'm moving the implant. And one tip, if you switch here, for example, to move your plans, and if you select the implant again, your implant is not moving. You just need to click on this icon and you can move it again. With the left mouse button, you can move the implant, and with the right mouse button, you can change the angulation. With the scroll mouse button, mouse wheel, I can scroll around the implant in the tangential view. That I can make my planning. And if I need to make the implant longer, shorter, wider, thinner, I can do this here. You see the tooth positions and diameter and length of the implant. For example, 375. Or maybe I'm okay with the 3.5, 10 millimeters, 12 millimeters. So you can change the length, you can change the position of the implant easily. And also, if you would like to make the implants parallel, just the right mouse button, click on the implant, click on Make Parallel, select the master implant, and in my case will be 11, will be as a master. And then you can see a real-time preview. And okay. Sometimes that crash happens when my presentation is also open. But I would like to say that the next update of coDiagnostiX will completely solve this problem. We just need to wait this the next update. So, and if this crash happens, the last open case will be here. You just click on open. And now you have it. Okay, so now move the implant. Now we have these implants parallel, and change the length. And also how I need to understand how deep I should place this implant. For me, it's more easy to understand this using abutments. If you go in here in the tooth positions, we see the tooth position and we have implant, abutment, sleep, and tooth. So if I click on abutment, because I have two abutments, two implants here, system ask me just for selected only or for the all implants. I will select it only, because for the all implants, system suggests me to use it the bridge solution, but I would like to make it as a single solution. And here I can select whatever I want. So this is a variable base, and we could also have the variable base angle solution. And we have here the new Stroman variable bases, you see, which is cuttable, which is perfect. And I would like to use the new XC variable base, for example, with the gingiva height 2.5 millimeters. And with the dataset alignment, I can rotate it, but it's located correctly. You see that this small line, maybe it's difficult to see on the screen sharing, but when you make this rotation, um, I will show you better maybe with something as this one, because it's more visible. You can rotate the data set. Of course, I will not use this healing abutment for molars on the incisors, but I just selected to show you that you can rotate implant around its own axis. Okay, let's go back and select the current abutment. Then click on close and select another one. So, and now I can see dataset alignment. So let's switch off maybe this model and just keep our STL here. In the preview, you can also see that our new abutments have lines, and you can understand how dental technician in the lab can cut this abutment, even if this abutment is going through the crown. And here, for example, yeah, I can understand that this is okay, but maybe I need to place it a little bit deeper, or maybe let's measure, because here I can understand that this is 2.5 millimeters as I selected. And what is this distance to the margin? It's 2.9. No, that's okay, I think. Yes, that's a good position. But maybe a little bit change. Yes, and now we can make the screw, um, a good screw retained crown in this case. And let's correct another one. And also I will use the measurements to see. Yeah, that's also good. There's enough space to place my abutment, and I have also enough space to cut this. And if you would like to see, for example, here, the more visibility of the implant, what you can also do in the tooth position, you have here implant appearance as a 3D models, and in this case, you will have this view. It's also very visible, and very nice. But it's good for pictures, but for planning, I prefer to use the cut view. Okay, so we are finished with our planning because I think the position is all right. Oh, you can change the angulation a little bit better, but the screw channel, I see that will be on the lingual side, on the pallet side, it will be okay. So then I go to step number 6. And here we have different options because we have open sleeve system and we have recommended sleeve system. And of course, we are going to recommended sleeve system. And here we have Straumann guided surgery and Straumann eye guide. Depending of your country and availability in your country, you have different kits. And of course, depending of your experience, which surgical kit you have. You can use conventional surgical kit, which include different sleeves, the PIC sleeves and metal sleeves, and you can change the sleeve position on the 3 different heights, 2, 4, or 6 millimeters above the crystal level of the implant. And you can change it here. And your protocol, your surgical protocol will be also different. So this is conventional surgical kit with the sleeves. My personal, I really like it because you can be very flexible on it. But the complicity of this surgical kit is that you need to use the additional keys, which additional holders is you put inside of the sleeve. And we have also in Straumann have Straumann eye guide. And if you select Straumann eye guide here, the sleeve will be fixed. And if the sleeve are fixed here, you select it, click on close. You don't need to think about the depth and about the surgical protocol. It's more easy for the planning. But what you need to check here for your aesthetic zone. First of all, I will switch off the design and I will look how my sleeve appears here. Because you see that sleeve is inside the hole. And if I don't want to injure the gum of the patient, so it's better to little bit put the sleeve higher than the gingiva because I don't need to have interferential here. And in this case, it's better to put the implants not too deep, maybe like this. So we still have enough space for the gum. We're still using 2.5 millimeters of the gingiva height of our abutment. And this part could be cuttable. It could be cutted by the dental technician. And this is not the problem that this part is intersect with the crown. So that's why I keep it here. And I move with this implant as well. All right. So if you finalize your planning, you can proceed for the new steps, for the next step, for the guide design. And for the guide design, by the way, I don't like my panoramic view here. I will turn off this snowflake and now I will see the panoramic better in the better view. Okay, let's proceed to the new step. Step number 7. You can click on here And here you need to select the current model, because right now we have 3 different models. And in this case, if I will use initial scan, it will not give me uh, the good design, because there is intersection with the teeth as patient have. And that's why I need to select tooth extraction. Then click on next. This step is also very important, because sometimes the new users make some mistakes with incorrect insertion view. And this is the view should be how your surgical guide will fit on the teeth. So from the top, this is insertion view of our surgical guide. And in this case, I need to see a quarters of our teeth. And I need to see a little bit the quarters of the canine, of the incisors, lateral incisors. I think like this will be okay. This is incorrect. This is also incorrect. So, and this is incorrect. And like this, is correct, because I see a quarter here, quarter here. So, and in the buccal zone as well. I go next. Shift and scroll, and I can enlarge this. So this cylinder, I don't need to enlarge, just keep it unchanged. Then select the tooth support areas. And just change it with the scroll. Maybe I don't need this. Let's see how it looks. Just rotate and see that we have enough plastic in the area close to these cylinders. I think it's all right. If you wanted to make some bars, you can select one more tool and just move it in another quadrant. Okay, go next. So here I will use the offset 0.15 and the wall thickness 2.5. I think it's enough. Or maybe 0.10, and it will be a little bit tighter if you have, but you need to calibrate your 3D printer. And now you see the first suggestion of your design. And what you need to improve here, you need to add inspection windows. And for inspection window, I click on here and put inspection window close to the sleeve, not inside there, to not cut the sleeve holder. Just here. One more. And maybe somewhere here. All right. So we have inspection windows, we have guide design, then we go next. Here you can add some presets as a patient name. You can put the positions, or you can add some text as you wish here. Then we go in next. Now you can see preview of your guide design. You can see the sleeves here, and this area is avoid the future the gum of the extraction, because this is like interference with the plastic, with the gum here, with the model scan. All undercuts you see has been blocked automatically because you select in the first step insertion view, and by the insertion view all undercuts will be blocked out. And for the export this guide, I just need to click export surgical guide. So here in the export, this is the lab option. The dental labs, when they do this export, they can choose the offset for the sleeves. You can see the different offset. They can print the calibration matrix and check which offset is suits better for them. And for example, in my case, this is this offset, and I just click OK. And if I go in next, I will save my surgical guide as an STL file in my computer, and I can send it to the printer. So, and I just click export and save it in my computer. Then I click close and apply. And this is it. So this is my design. What else I can do here? Because I'm going with immediacy case, and I would like to transfer to the dental technician, to those who did this design of the teeth. I wanted to give him position of my future implants and how to do this in a fast way. So I go into plan, and here virtual planning export. I can also use this button here. I have a shortcut, but I will use virtual planning export to show it here. STL file, you see, then click on next, untouched export, and I can select the model with the tooth extraction as well, and select the scan body. And now dental technician will have the model scan with the scan bodies. So you can export this as a multi-file. Then you will have 3 different files, 2 scan bodies and 1 model scan, or you will have it as a single file. And then he can just align with the libraries and create the final crown before the surgery. You just click on export and that's it. What's more, we didn't saw the step number 8, and in the step number 8, if you click on it, you can see the surgical protocol. I will save it as a PDF. And in the surgical protocol, you can see screenshot, you can see position of our implants, and you can see all of the steps of the drilling with the bone class, bone density, everything. And it's easy to proceed for the next steps. And this is it. So, any questions? I cannot see any questions here. So, if you don't have any questions, or I hope it was clear for you. And as I said before, this session has been recorded, and afterwards, it will appear in the Salmon Digital Academy, where you register on this case, and you can just see recording here. And I hope it was helpful for you, and see you in the next trainings. Thank you.